Hey, good morning, everybody. This is John Natale. Just want to give you a quick update of what's taken place. Yesterday, we had quite a bit of technical difficulties. Every time we tried to do a live, it got interrupted. It got booted off. Kind of crazy. I think it was like 3 times yesterday that we had issues, but we're back and we should be good now. I just want to let you know what's taking place on Sunday, what's taking place Sunday evening, what's going on with the ministry, USLEO and stuff like that. But anyhow, we do have, there should be a caption that we put up for today regarding a prophetic word that we re-released. I think it'll encourage you, inspire you, give you some, just some hope and some stuff. But anyhow, just to get some of the information and the itinerary out of the way. Sunday night, we're going to be at Voice of the Christian Church, 45 Van Winkle Ave, Garfield, New Jersey. And that's going to be a very, very awesome time with a Macedonian church. Awesome, awesome people. And then obviously on Sunday afternoon, we have our show, Prophetic Perspective, at 2 p.m., which I think you'll like. The next one coming up is going to be very interesting. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you can. I'm going to stand up a little bit if you can see the snake there. And it's have coffee or will need coffee or die. But anyhow, interesting. I'm going to do a show, and I'm also going to do a live this week regarding the snake and the serpent. What's it all about? What took place in the garden? How the symbol of the snake? How Moses used the snake, and actually it got a really bad rap in the beginning. That it always looks at, it's always being looked at as something bad or something evil. But so I'm going to talk about that, give you some perspective on that, and I bought this shirt purposely because the snake was on it, and you get a lot of feedback as well. But anyhow, we also gave a word the other day regarding the untouchables and the October, November, and December, the last quarter of 2021, and the significance of it, of how and what plays out in this last 3 months. Now, we're seeing a lot of interesting things take place in Washington. We're seeing a lot of interesting things take place in the elections that took place in New Jersey, Virginia, very interesting. And a lot of people have been asking me, are things happening? Of course things are happening. All you got to do is open up your eyes and your ear gates, not just naturally, folks, spiritually, to see what's coming about and what's transpiring. So there is definitely a significant revealing in the nation because more and more stuff is coming about and more people are getting very, very excited about holding their ground and contending for the promises of God, but not being manipulated and overwhelmed. That's one of the things that the enemy's trying to do in this season, even over the course of the last 11 months. And this was something I said in yesterday's video that got, that had so much problems with it, is that the enemy wants you to give up. And a lot of people message me, they email us, they contact us regarding just the relevancy over the last 11 months of how tired they are and how weary they are. And I said, this has only been 11 months. That's not that big of a deal when you think of it. Yeah, a lot of things have transpired. And if what transpired 11 months ago didn't come about, we wouldn't have seen the things that we're seeing today, because what it's actually caused is to people to be awakened to their freedoms, to their rights, and they're holding their ground and they're standing strong. And the Lord's telling you to stay in the battle and just keep contending. The only way things don't happen in your life, folks, is if you give up. God doesn't ever give up. But if you give up on the very things that you are believing for and contending for, all right, nothing's going to come to pass. And your decisions are going to affect the next generation, obviously. Even with, with your children. If the children see you, they're going to see faith or they're going to see weariness. And at the end of the day, I want my kids to remember me by faith. That you hold your ground, you stayed in the battle, you never gave up. It doesn't matter how big the scenario is. Remember, natural weapons have no power over spiritual authority. All right, that is a key nugget there. Natural weapons do not have power over spiritual authority. So we do carry something different than the enemy, than what the enemy has. So it's so important in these last few months that you can't, and here's another nugget for today. Do not agree with the enemy and do not align yourself up with what the enemy is saying. If we're constantly reminding people how tired we are and how weary we are and how nothing's going to change, then we've agreed with the enemy, and that's exactly what he's looking for. So when you align yourself up with God and the promises of God, he's not the father of lies. The enemy is. He's the one who brings truth. And the truth is what sets the captives free. All right. If we align ourselves up with the Lord and the way he thinks and the way he sees, all right, then we're going to see some very significant things, because we have to get out of the box of natural thinking. It doesn't matter what you see. It doesn't matter what's happening in the nation on the natural scale. We have to be able to believe and see in the spirit realm that God has awesome plans for this nation, and man's not going to stop them. So anyway, Sunday night, 6 p.m., Voice of the Christian Church, all right, 45 Van Winkle Ave. Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern, Real Talk 93.3, The Voice of Freedom. Our show is called Prophetic Perspective. You can go on the website. You can listen to it at 2 p.m. You can download the podcast, Real Talk 93.3. Or, and if you miss it, you can always go back and listen to the podcast. All shows are archived. So anyhow, God is good. Awesome things are taking place. Don't give up, because the next quarter of 2022, January, February, March, is going to be a ramification of what takes place in this quarter. All right, so we get our mindset off of natural thinking, shift it to spiritual thinking. Watch as we unfold this year as it comes to a close, and you see some very interesting events take place in the first quarter of 2022. So there should be a word here for you. I believe I copied and pasted it, that I believe it'll inspire you and encourage you. But be strong. Don't give up. Continue to pray for our family as we're praying for yours, and for open doors, and as well for us to travel, to visit various places, to minister in different places as well. Anyway, continue to pray for our law enforcement organization, USLEO, as we are trying to be a bridge, and I believe we are a bridge between law enforcement and the community. God is good. So anyway, be blessed. Have a supernatural day. Never stop contending. Never stop believing for the deep things of God. He's got wonderful plans for you and your family.